Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to our Total War Rome Remastered tutorial for Total War beginners. I asked for some feedback in the last episode. A few of you spoke up for that. I am very thankful for, and we now have a more solid direction in which I am going to proceed. Essentially what we are going to do is play one, maybe two more episodes of this early game. I'm going to try to expand to the east, and for that reason I will give in a minute. But at which point, when I feel comfortable with where we are in the early game, we will take essentially a break. I will start playing forward into the mid to late game, and then we'll come back for 1 to 2, maybe 3 episodes total of what your late to end game looks like. And in those episodes, we honestly may skip in time between those. Essentially, I want to give you an idea on what it looks like to control several pieces of territory across the wide world that is this game, and then we're going to go into some advanced sieges as I mentioned, and then the last episode, will probably result in what we do to counter the inevitable betrayal of the Senate against us. So for now, we will continue with our early game. We ended our war with Gaul, but I really don't think that we can trust them. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and move my diplomat over here into this pass to give us a little bit better idea on when they might be coming. What we can also do, what we can also do is we can get our general. Let's just get any general. And I do believe we should have the ability to build a watchtower. Now I'm going to do that here, which is still going to be inside the limits of the territory. Oh, there we go. Excuse me. That gives us some perspective, so we can kind of have a forward base to repel potential invasions from. Now, ideally, you'd want to build one in this pass. We could build one here, because we can only see this line of sight because of this guy. This guy has no... he's got a little bit. Go ahead and push it right there. There we go. That way we're just going to be able to see anyone coming in down that direction. Now the reason why we're pushing east is because Greece is significantly more wealthy than Gaul is. It's why I start as the Brutii more often than not, because their access to Greece gives them an immense leg up against the competition. But the Julii does tend to be a little bit easier to play. So we have our army here led by Galerius Hordeonus. What we're going to do is we're going to move him this way. Yes, he can't really move. There we go. We'll move him in the maximum amount. And we can see over here that Segestica is being under siege from the Dacians. We can't do anything about that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue moving these guys this way. It doesn't look like I can. Okay. Let's get this guy moving there. That way we can see anything that happens. Potentially take out the settlement if they do not. And then our last plans are preparing for an inevitable invasion from Gaul. So what I mean by that is we do want to start building up a garrison on these border towns, because we don't have garrisons unlike newer games. So we do have to consistently think about the borders of our territory and how it will affect us if someone were to attack. I think we're pretty much all good. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and knock down these two very high-tech. They give us a little bit more money. I don't really think we can push anything here. I guess we could. Oh yeah, no, we're fine. And we're at such a high population growth per turn that that's not going to be a problem. And in fact, that's going to give us quite a decent bit of money. Let's go ahead and hit the end turn. And then we're going to take a look at our merchants in this next turn. All right, well, it looks like it's a good thing we didn't go after that, because if we had attacked Dacia, which I was considering it. I didn't voice my opinion. But if we would have, then we would be facing a much larger army. And it looks like Greece or Macedonia was not able to get to those. We're going to go ahead and starve out the population here. we can... yeah, let's go ahead and rejoin. We need to pick all of these guys out. We're gonna come here. We're gonna retrain as many troops as we can, while also filling up that last slot. We have 19 out of 20. We'll have 20 out of 20. Now, we're gonna come back here. Now we can see anything they do. We don't really have to worry about it. And in fact, I'm going to put my diplomat there so we can see that pass, and in the next turn, we'll put towers there so we can see it all. Spying mission was a success. We have Senate offices have been gained. So if we go here, we can see that we currently hold 2 out of the possible 5. 6, excuse me, I can't count. So we're slowly getting up there. They're finally recognizing that we do have some power. In the Senate, the majority of the Senate has a good opinion of your deeds, whereas the plebs, they hate us. That's pretty typical. We're not going to be too concerned. We did lose the office of Adel, but that's okay. And then we go down to Arretium. I keep hitting the destroy things button. Arretium is going to be able to level up to a governor's palace. We're going to start seeing more advanced structures occur in this building. Yep, one of the first areas to do so. Awesome. All right. Good deal. Now I can still move these guys, and in fact, that's probably what I'll do. Have them continue to move down. We're going to try to get to that. It'll take 3 turns. No problems there. We do have a mission from the Senate. We need to take the settlement of Salona. All right. Well, we're already headed there. Fantastic. Diplomatic information. The houses of Rome are at war with Macedon. No biggie there. And then, of course, Arretium just built its wooden walls, so it does have some stronger walls than it did before. And we should be pretty good to go there. Now, we were going to take a look at our merchants. Because if you can see here, our merchant last turn's making 129. He's actually doing really good. But what I want to do is trying to take advantage of certain resources. Now, one little tip, if I may make one, is that there are collections of resources that you can gather to kind of make a monopoly on. This is actually in Tylus, so we may make a little bit less, but camping on this guy is actually going to bring us in a little more, and he will level up a little quicker as well. But yeah, in my advanced tutorial, if I can remember to, I will go over some of the... It's a cheat sheet of sorts, in that you can capitalize certain types of resources together and really maximize what your merchant is doing. We go into Mediolanum. We're making a blacksmith to bring all of those guys up to par. We're not building anything here in Batavium, and as you can see, we don't have the best public order. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my building browser to take a look at the religious settlements. So we can only build a shrine to Ceres, a shrine to Bacchus, or a shrine to Jupiter. Now, Ceres increases public order to happiness, as well as population growth. We don't have an issue with that, and rarely will we ever. So I don't ever really go with Ceres, simply because it's just not really that worth it to me. We have the shrine to Bacchus, which is a straight public order to happiness. And as you can see, it just increases larger and larger. And then at that final level, you also get population growth, happiness, and then public order to law. Now, Jupiter diversifies the happiness or the public order bonus. It's to happiness and law throughout. And then in that last tier, it is enables the training of arcani, which I do believe are kind of the secret service of the Roman society. So we're going to go with Bacchus, or Jupiter, excuse me, just to kind of play into that a little bit. Again, we don't have to develop, you don't have to be developing, excuse me, every single turn. It's not necessary, only if you have the funds to, so we aren't going to worry about it. All right, now I mentioned we're going to take him. We're going to build that watchtower. We're going to come over here in the next turn and build that watchtower. You see how far that it came, and oh my goodness. I think we're about to get hit by some spear warbands. Well, we can totally fight it. We probably should. I need to try and get here before those guys do. Two turns. I'm not quite sure how far those other guys can make it. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna sally forth. Now that's not gonna make those guys happy, but we do have enough range where that's not a problem. Now we're not at war with them yet. There's nothing to say that they're gonna come after us, but typically the AI doesn't go in there until it's ready to pull the trigger. All right, Mediolanum fulfilled its blacksmith, which means we need to retrain everyone so they can get that blacksmith advantage. And I think that's about all we're gonna do. Arimium isn't too happy. Why are you not so happy, Arimium? We have a tax penalty and we have squalor, so we can go ahead and bump that tax down. That's a pretty nasty hit, but it does satiate the population, so I'm not too terribly concerned about it. As I mentioned, we don't have to build every single thing. We're not going to. We have one more turn here, 2 more turns, and everything starts getting pretty pricey once we get to that 3rd level. So we aren't going to worry about it. All right, well, Germania has made a pretty clear incursion onto our lands. So we are going to take that as a declaration of war. Now Marcus Julius has come of age. He's okay, just starting out. He is a political animal, gives him popularity among the Senate, but he's also judgmental. So +1 to public security, but +1 to unrest, which has a negative on public order. All right. Diplomatic information. The following factions have broken their alliance. Germania and Gaul, and then Germania and the SPQR are now allies. That probably won't stand as soon as I attack these guys, which is what we are going to do. I'm really hoping that we kind of just block these guys from being able to hit Salona. I think we do. Perfect. It's kind of a strategic thing to block the other people from being able to hit it. We'll be able to get to it next turn and take it over ourselves. 8 turns left. We'll have plenty of time. So what I am going to do is I am going to go ahead and attack. I am going to attack a neutral faction. There are no hostilities. The attack now would be considered a declaration of war. There we go. All right. So this is going to be a bit different. We have our kind of our balance of power. It says it's relatively equal. They only have a captain. They do not have a general. They only have spear warband. They don't have anything else. Now the advantage for them is that they will have a phalanx formation, expert at hiding in woods. They have a bonus fighting cavalry, and they have a combat bonus in woods or snow. Luckily, I don't think that's an issue, but that phalanx is going to be. Let's go ahead and fight it, and we will see you on the battlefield. We are going to ignore the general speech because I am more eager to get into this than willing to listen to the speech. They're great, they're fantastic, but I'd rather just do this. So we are going to go our typical 3-man formation. This is always going to be standard, and we keep these guys in the reserve. There we are. We have our barbarians, and then we have our various generals and whatnot. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and start the battle. All right, are they going to come after me? Now, phalanx are decently hard to fight against, so I fully expect most of these troops to run. Once it comes down to the dirty battles. So we're going to try and outflank them, but I don't really want to use my generals. I'm going to keep these guys in here so they can kind of keep the rallying down. We don't have to worry about it. I'm also going to make these guys just a little bit thicker. Let's go ahead and move up. we have to be cautious. I would like to try and... so we're going to try some advanced tactics, is basically what I'm getting at. We're going to see and push one unit forward, so they all focus on that unit. And we're going to see what happens at that point in time. If we can, we're going to peel some of these units off. There we go. They are fighting uphill, which gives us the advantage too. All right, good. We're going to start working on them. You guys can throw your stuff as well. You can see they're already waving. Wavering. They're not waving. Hi. Let's move these guys up. We're going to try and kind of corner them, as it were. There we go. We are now in a little bit of a pickle, because these guys are just really, really good at taking us on in melee. Let's go ahead and reinforce this flank. Are you out? You are. Let's go ahead and retreat. Let's get these guys at kind of some different angles to see if we can't plug in somewhere. All right, we're doing okay. We're not doing fantastic. We're doing okay. These guys can boot up a little bit. No, stay. All units minus you guys are in guard mode, because I don't want you to get out and about. Got the war cry, and you don't have your weapons down, so hopefully that'll give us the advantage. There we go. Move on up. Sweet, we already have some units routing, which is great. Move up here. Hit those guys in the back. Let's move this guy over in there. We're going to try and get multiple units to hit one unit. That's really kind of the best way to approach these types of phalanx units, in my opinion anyway. See, they're already engaged. We're going to come in from the side. They're a little too hesitant. We're not going to do anything there. You guys are going to stay. You can see our barbarians are getting a little bit wrecked. Just the name of the game. All right, cool. So we are drawing out a few units, just a few. Let's go ahead and get our generals in the backfield, because I would like them to get the stragglers, just because they are a little more fragile. All right. Let's go ahead and hit that guy. Let's go here. I'm going to start flanking you now. The flank will always give some pretty decent morale debuff. So these guys should start wavering relatively soon. There go my generals. Awesome. Fantastic. Push. Just for a second. Are you guys going to actually hit? There we go. What is this? Move on out. All right, so we are slowly overwhelming them. Awesome, and they're going to start kind of chain routing. Exactly what we want to see. That really helps us break up this battlefield. There we go. As you can see, it's not everything is hunky-dory. Let's move on up. Go ahead and move on in over there as well. Move on in. Go ahead and hit those guys in the back. Move on up. And then you create one of these little formations. This little formation just kind of covers our soldiers in the little, almost like a half square formation. That way no corner. There we go. I was gonna say no corner is left open, but now they're just gonna go in and pursue. Just fine. There's no problem with that. Essentially what you want to do is you want to make it to where they have to cover so many places at once that they cannot actively fight against you. Let's move on there. Face them. So as you can see, we're still getting some kickback from all of this. I mean, these guys are having a hard time. Move on up. These guys finally broke, but it took a decent ways. And even these spear warbands, they're not routing super easy. There we are. We have units that have routed. Put those in the back. Turn around. It's not easy. It is not easy at all. Let's go ahead and hit these guys, since they are working on getting routed as well. Those spear warbands seem to be doing pretty fine. Let's get back, please. All right, it's working slowly but surely. I don't want to engage my units in a phalanx. That is not very smart. Does not end well. Even from behind, it's not the smartest move. Only when you are pursuing with the phalanx. There we go. All right, let's get this guy. Nice.
The enemy general is dead.
Good.
His men know their doom approaches.
There we go. Let's get you guys reformed. Awesome. They're all retreating. Let's go ahead and get you kind of wrecked. Need to just make sure that everyone is indeed retreating. Oh wow, he came back. That's unexpected. All right, let's go here. Nope, we're gonna continue.
Pursue them and drive them from the battlefield.
Awesome. That was relatively simple, but also complex. Remember, guys, you just gotta surround them. Being able to hit them from both sides at the same time is going to reduce their morale overall and cause them to rout, especially since they have a captain. Alright, so that army is completely melted away. Do they have enough space? They do have enough space to get back, so we are going to drop them here. We'll bring them back, and we're going to retrain all of them. There we go. And we can continue that. Now, we are at war. He is a decorated hero. 20% discount on unit training costs. And then a command of +2, which is going to be very, very nice. All right, so all we have left is to hit the end turn. We have an inactive fleet. That's okay. Inactive fleet, we're going to see what the Dacians do. All right, they've moved along. They can't reach it. We can. We're just going to siege this down. Enough food to last 4 turns. We don't want to even fight it. I don't want to even have a chance. And now, as you can see here, we are making 115 per turn. And this is even at finance level 1. So that's pretty stinking good. Town grows. Arimium. Keep hitting the wrong button. Arimium now grows. And you're going to want to upgrade your settlements pretty much as soon as possible. It's just going to help you in the long run. I need to actually get my diplomat now over to a German settlement, see if he will settle for a treaty. Diplomatic action, the SPQR and the other houses are at war with Germania, which is fantastic. Aretium has built its governor's palace. So let's take a look at the systems here. We have a whole new set of construction things. We have sewers now. We have an arena. We have an academy, which unlocks new traits and followers. We have our basic everything else, but it's starting to just get more advanced. We have stone walls, which gives us extra wall defense, boiling oil, reinforced gates as well. It's going to be very difficult to penetrate. But we also have Legion Barracks, and this is what I'm going to build because it's going to give us our next tier of troops, which are Principes. Principes are going to be important to your campaign. Use them all the time. And that's all we can do for this turn. Alrighty. We are not making a ton of money, and I'm kind of tired of not making a ton of money. So what we need to do, diplomatic information, stoic philosophy, that's an event. We aren't going to worry about it. What I am going to do is delete all of these forces. Let's go.
Your Honor. Awaiting your service.
Huh. I don't think we have our diplomat anymore. Let me look again. There he is. Okay. Oh, I just didn't see him. He's right in front.
I will
Be quick. Our patience is
Ceasefire. Very generous. Let's demand a region. No, Trier is too much. Your request give you Vavum. Here we go. What if I ask for... That's too much. Lovoscheiss. You know what? That is enough for me.
very well.
Nice. Okay, so they were not willing. We completely wrecked that one army. So they were like, okay, that's good. And they gave us 2 settlements. Now these are both controllable. They are ours completely. Now that is a very rare sequence of events. It tells me that they weren't ready to take us on. And so they kind of peeked in here to see what we had. We came in, we smacked him in the face, told him, no, bad boy. And so they were like, okay, you've sold us. So I am going to move up there to reinforce some of these guys. Because, believe it or not, peasants and town watch are not going to be the solutions that we need. And funnily enough, they can't even build anything. So we aren't even going to worry about it outside of getting something like this going. There we are. All right, ceasefire is in effect. That was a very quick, short war. Netted us 2 settlements. Not a bad deal. We've got 3 turns going on in here. We have inactive settlements. That means these guys haven't done anything in quite a long time, nor can they, nor do I care if they do. Actually, build a barracks. There we go. Be happy. And then we need to move that army down south a bit.
Dear friend.
If you're gonna do that, what is compensation again? What is compensation? Request Britannia pay a suitable price to rectify. We won't worry about that. Give me a region. Batavodrum?
A most generous proposal.
Okay. Did our merchant get bought out? Oh, he did. All right, so we're making a little less income than we were before because he did actually get bought out. That does happen. He isn't strong enough to repel it. Then there's nothing we can do. Now, over here, we're going to delete that. We're going to give our guys a little bit of hope. But as you can see, just from those 2 interactions, we're able to get 3 rather important parts of our border. Fantastic. I love it. I'm glad we were able to do that. Just shows you need to be able to see what those chances are. And I mentioned that before. You just need to kind of judge, be your own judge to determine what's going to happen there. We're building some units there. What was I going to do real quick? I was going to build another merchant. Now, I don't remember. Aeus of Arretium. Okay, so Arretium will need to build another merchant. There we are. Fantastic. Inactive diplomat. Go this way. All right, my faction leader has died. The gods have seen fit to send this man to the afterlife. His household, even his slaves, will surely mourn. Right, so we have a new head of house. Right after 2 towns, expand Euvavum. Where is Euvavum? Right there. We will go ahead and upgrade that. A town grows Patavium. Patavium is now growing as well. There we are. That's going to give us everything we got. Faction announcements. We should have a new faction leader, Lucius Julius. Thank goodness. And he's doing okay. We're going to move our guys here. Nope, just kidding. Some Dacians are in the way. There's not a problem with that. What do we got? We got path blocked. Yes, we're not going to be able to go any further. Construction report. Arimium has built its governor's palace. Segesta and Batavodrum are all done with theirs. No worries from us. We just need to get our merchant back. Sweet, Salona is ours. We are going to just occupy it. And the reward was one of the best units in the game. So I'm really curious to see. Right? It was a Byreme. Oh, well, thank you, Senate, for giving me such a lame thing. That's what I love about the Senate. I'm going to give you one of the best units in the game, and it's a measly Byreme. Principes, awesome. This uses a missile weapon before charging. Well-armored can sap, which is an advanced siege tactic. Armor piercing is their primary weapon. It only costs 490. We're gonna get 3 of them. That is one of the higher tier troops that will make a large portion of your future army. All right, so we are slowly getting into here. I want to try and keep this one short because I myself do not have all the time in the world. As you can see, Apollonia is already conquered by the Brutii. We have to start moving quickly because once they get a foothold into Greece, start spreading like wildfire. We're going to see what we can't do with Salona in the next episode. It does look like we'll be able to do a lot of good things. I'm very excited for the future. Again, this may be the second to last. We will do one more in this area as I start pushing into here. We'll see where it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. If you have yet to purchase the game, then you can totally do so still on my Nexus if you're this far into it without buying. Otherwise, follow me on Twitch, where I stream all sorts of strategy games. Thank you very much. This is Havoc, and I'm out of here.